How's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Phil Talk Sports Podcast. The NFL draft is just a few days away, so welcome to the preview show. I got Don on the card with me today. You didn't click the wrong video. You didn't click the wrestling report on accident. We actually have Don on today to talk some sports for many reasons. One, he's a diehard football fan. He's plays in some, big games at the high school level, more experience than I have playing football, and he's going to be in Vegas at the draft, at least later in the weekend. So lots of great reasons. It's been a while. I've been meaning to have Don on to just talk sports. We talk wrestling. We've had over 50 episodes, pretty close to 50 episodes of wrestling talk, but it's about time we had him on to talk some sports. So, Don, how's it going, man? You ready for the draft this weekend?
Oh, yes, sir. It's going to be a good time, and I'm happy to be here. Let's talk some sports.
Let's do it, man. So let's start at the very beginning. Like I said, you are going to be in Vegas by the third day, so you'll get some of the draft action for this. So that's going to be a really unique experience, I think, because not many people have been to a draft. So that's going to be quite a box to check off, I think.
Yeah, I've never been to a draft either, so this is going to be something new for me. I haven't been to another place to watch sports, something sports acclimated to it. I've never ever. So this is a big thing for me. We're doing this some type of experience, just like a draft experience, and I guess like they have like a setup stage and stuff, and you get to act like you got drafted to your favorite team type thing.
Oh, nice.
I believe. And I'll be right outside of what's going on out there. So like that it's gonna be all dope.
I have been to, so back in the day, I think only 6-7 years ago, they started moving the draft to like a different place every year. And it used to be at Radio City Music Hall in New York every year. And I have been to Radio City Music Hall, just not when the draft was going on. So that kind of counts. That's like half a point or whatever. But you mentioned, you'll be able to do the draft experience where you get drafted by your favorite team. We know a lot of your wrestling takes because, like you said, we've done damn near 50 episodes talking wrestling. Let the people know where do your team alliances lie, and what are all the teams that you're a fan of, so people know where you're coming from as we talk, regular sports.
Well, I'm just gonna say it right now, I'm a Miami fanatic. I love Miami everything. Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Marlins, Miami Dolphins, of course. I think I said that already.
Twice, yep.
I got the Dolphins. See, I'm such a fan. I got the Dolphins on this arm. I got the Hurricanes on this arm, and I got a Marlin on this arm.
I missed that Marlin logo, man. I don't think they ever should have changed it, man.
Yeah, man.
The one they have now is better than that first redesign, but I didn't know that there was a better logo in baseball back in those days.
For real, man. It was a fish wrapped around a F. It was perfect. I mean, like, I understand why they did, because when you think of Miami, you don't think of the Florida Marlins, Yeah. So now it being in Miami, it makes sense in a way.
The new one grew on me when I realized they were going for like the neon lights kind of look of like the lights of Miami. Well, once I realized that, I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, that old one, like, as not even a Marlins fan, I always thought like that's as great a logo as you can get, I would think. But
oh yeah, man. But I plan on getting my Heat tattoo soon, and I'm not into hockey that much, but like if I was gonna watch a hockey game, I'll watch a Fuller Panther game.
Right.
And I'm not no bandwagon. Like I said, I just love Miami every
yeah. It is interesting that like, so the Panthers, do they play in Miami, like near Miami, or they're kind of outside of it, right?
They play in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, true. But that's like, I don't know. The state of Miami kind of extends a little bit. Like I remember a couple years ago, people were like, the government was talking, they were going to turn Florida into Florida and South Florida. And then at that point, anything that was considered South Florida would have just been Miami that point. It felt like it, but
oh yeah. And it is funny because like the Dolphins don't play in Miami, the Hurricanes don't play in Miami. That's all in Fort Lauderdale.
So the only one that does would be the Heat, I guess, right? They're the only ones that are truly
the Heat and the Marlins. Now the Marlins.
Right?
Yeah, before they was playing at the Dolphin Stadium as well. So or pro player back in the day.
I didn't think I could shoehorn a quick baseball question in here, but since we kind of talked about the Marlins for a minute, what do you think of Cabrera getting his 3,000th hit? I mean, he was a Marlin back in the day.
Oh yeah, bro. I've been a Cabrera fan since I first saw him.
Mm-hmm.
The first game he ever played with the Marlins, he hit a game-winning home run
Mm-hmm.
against I remember the Tampa Bay Devil Rays back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was, and that's when I knew he was going to be a star. So like to see him hit this 3,000 hit and he's still playing. That was 2003.
Yeah, his
That
rookie
was
year
two,
was when you
that,
guys
yeah,
won the ring. Yeah.
yeah, that was 2003. Like that's mind blowing right there. And it's
And we were talking about him at the Tortuga game, and I was like, he never played for any of my teams, but he's like the most likable dude in baseball. He's
for
always
real.
doing something to make you laugh. He's always like doing something funny enough that you got to watch his highlights and stuff. And
Yeah,
all the Yankees made him wait 24 hours to finally get the hit because they walked him on his he was 3 for 3 and they walked him on his fourth at bat, but then he got it the next night or whatever. So good for him. I'm glad we were able to sneak a little bit of baseball talk in there because as much as we work in baseball, I don't get to watch a lot of other baseball because we're working baseball. So he was able to squeeze that in a little bit. So before we get to draft stuff, this past month has been a wild free agency period. Yes. And I'm actually going to I'm getting quicker at doing this, but we have the list of the biggest free agents they all went in March. 39 combined Pro Bowls all happened in March. It kicked off with Russell Wilson's move to Denver, and it ends with your Dolphins picking up Tyreek Hill. So we will end on that. Let you talk your Dolphins a little bit. But you look at this list, I mentioned Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz to the Commanders, still getting used to that.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack to the Chargers, Amari Cooper to the Browns, Ngakwe to the Cowboys, I believe. I'm only looking at the colors here. Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders, Deshaun Watson to the Browns, Matt Ryan to the Colts, and then that also leads Tyreek. I know you're going to lean a little bit towards Tyreek Hill, so let's take him out of here for a quick minute. What do you think is the biggest signing on this list?
Yo, to be honest with you, I wasn't even going to say Tyreek.
Okay.
I think overall the biggest pickup was Russell, bro.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson to the Broncos. Because if you think about it, the Broncos were really good. Their defense is stout. They got two good receivers out there, Judy and Cortland.
Yeah, Cortland Sutton. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like that's all he needed was someone to throw it to. Yeah, they had Teddy Two Glove and fucking
Drew Lock.
Yeah. They couldn't get them the ball. Their defense is stout. All he needed was a quarterback. They got their quarterback. To be honest with you, I see them coming out the West. Everyone's pulling for the Chargers. Mm-hmm. I seriously see the Broncos coming out because they had the most complete team.
The Broncos really have felt like a quarterback away from, I'm not saying like winning a championship, but like from being a really formative team.
Yeah.
To the point that decent quarterbacks like Drew Lock and, Teddy Bridgewater, when fully healthy, is, a starter level QB, even to this day. So like when those guys were on it, that, they could easily beat anybody. They'd beat the Chiefs here and there and, all that stuff. The Devontae Adams one is interesting to me because I think we're all going to remember just how above average Derek Carr really is. The fact that you'll have him and Hunter Renfrow where you can put anywhere. So that's a big one for me. Do you have one on here that you think will be the biggest disappointment?
I want to say Carson Wentz, but I will say Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper with that. Yeah, I mean, Carson's going to do what he does. He's going to have like this past year with the Colts, he had like 27 touchdowns, 7 picks, and they missed the playoffs by 1 game. Like there's no reason he won't do that again. And when your touchdown turnover ratio is plus 20 and people still like bitch at you, that's just the world that Carson has to live in these days. The Deshaun Watson one, as like on paper, as good as that can sound, I'm not convinced he's going to play. And if he does, it's not going to be the full year. I think he'll come in 6, 7, 8 weeks into the season. And, if they can, I forget who their backup is. They did sign somebody. I'm trying to remember who. Yeah, I was thinking that's who that was. So, like, if they can hold it down, I guess, and be 500 until he comes around, again, on paper, assuming he's kept his head right and he stayed in shape and everything, like, I don't think he's been, like, sitting on the couch eating Funyuns necessarily, but, like, to be away from this game for, almost a full 2 years at this point, really.
Yeah.
And especially by the time he plays again, it brings up the, Colin Kaepernick saying he's trying to get back into it. And like what your opinion of him as a person, null and void. the dude has just not been around it for 6-7 years, and that would be my biggest reason to think that something like that wouldn't work out. Matt Ryan, I think, will be a pleasant surprise for the Colts.
Yeah,
He'll be a little better than, say, like Phillip Rivers was for them. He'll definitely take care of the ball more than Phillip Rivers would have. And if they can keep that going, I think
they just don't have enough wide receivers for me, man. Yeah, they got Jonathan Taylor and everything over there, bro. But and Pittman, they need one more wide receiver.
Yeah, because T.Y. Hilton's just getting older, every day.
I don't even think he's I think he's a free agent still.
Oh shoot, okay, yeah, maybe. Yeah, they definitely need a little more offensive firepower, but yeah, they're definitely a team that's like 80% Jonathan Taylor, or I would say right about now. But that does lead to Tyreek Hill at the end, and like I said, you weren't going to necessarily pick him as the best signing. But what did you think when that went down? Were you happy with the move? Were you happy with what it took to get him? All that sort of thing. As a actual Dolphins fan, how did it feel? And how do you? I'm sure you've talked to other Dolphins fans. What's your opinion, and what's like the general consensus so far?
I loved it. I love the pick. I love the pickup. I love the trade. I love everything about it. This is definitely a prove-it year for Tua. And that's what everyone's saying too. Like, we basically surrounded him with talent, with Mostert and Chase Edmonds, re-signing Gesicki, getting Tyreek. I wish we kept Devontae because I really did. I love Devontae. And I feel like they still needed one big body wide receiver. But apparently they're going to use Cedric Wilson that way. And we re-signed Preston Williams. But with the adding of Tyreek is definitely it's gonna be crazy. Because you think about it, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Chase Edmonds, and Raheem Mostert.
And Gesicki is a very capable tight end.
Yeah. So I would say this is definitely the make or break year of Tua. I definitely could see us making it being contenders. From what I've been seeing other like YouTubers and stuff, because I watch a lot of YouTubers, Dolphin YouTubers and stuff.
Right.
A lot of us are very, very, very excited. We were excited to see what happens. We also got to remember Mike McDaniel is a rookie coach, so we can't have that high standard yet.
I don't know what to make of him yet. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm not ruling him out. I'm not gonna say anything negative about the guy, but he just seems like, I don't know if he is that young, but he looks like he should still be like getting someone's coffee somewhere. And he's so laid back in every interview that I've seen that I can't make like. So we did one with who was he on? I think he was on with Rich Eisen, who I watch. I don't watch his show like bell to bell, but I watch a lot of his clips. And like, if you don't have a great interview with Rich Eisen, that's kind of on you, because he's so like calm with you and like softball questions. And he was just like, so how does it feel to be like a head coach? He's like, yeah, man, I'm just here. And then he didn't really answer anything. And I'm like, if you can't answer these like questions he's lobbing up to you, but like, who knows? He might like, we know firsthand as like Eagles fans, like Sirianni didn't have a great opening press conference, with the Eagles, and he might be, pretty decent. So like, I'm not going to hold that against the guy, but you're right. As a first year coach, definitely something to look out for. In the past year or two, you've been someone that's a little more patient with Tua than others, and you've already said it, so I don't even have to ask. If this doesn't go, and I'm not saying you don't win the Super Bowl, but like, if this is a 7-8 win team, even with all these weapons, and it's obvious it's the quarterback, like this would probably be the last year of Tua if he doesn't show a lot of improvement with everything given here.
Oh yeah, I definitely see like they're gonna give Tua everything they can give him. He's gonna play the whole season, barring injury, of course.
Yep.
And we'll see what happens at the end of the year. I really do think he's capable of definitely getting the ball to these guys and letting these boys like cook up defenses. It's just I hate the slander. That's one thing I do hate, and I feel like that's what he's always gonna have that target on his back because the Dolphins picked him over Justin Herbert, and Justin Herbert is taking off.
Taking off already, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's gonna be on him, and it's funny because they said the same thing about Josh Allen, and then into his third year, the Bills picked up Stephon Diggs,
Right.
and what happened? Josh Allen is taking off.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen? Give the man a shot. Give the man a chance. The man he hasn't played that many games.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he needed the shot, and all these movements. This is showing that you're getting the shot. Sometimes, these guys they don't do anything to help them, and they're just like they sit there and scratch their head on why it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, like, not that I was a Jags fan, but like Blake Bortles had a decent year with the Jags. He gets them to one win before the Super Bowl, and they like get rid of Allen Robinson and they get rid of their receivers, and it's like. This guy, like, while not perfect, like, you had something that worked. You give him less, not more. You gave him less, not more.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a matter of, seeing the discrepancy in offensive firepower. And it's like, okay, I do have a little concern that, like, Tua's arm, because, like, Tyreek Hill is used to, like, Patrick Mahomes and just being able to, like, 80 yards at any given moment. They're going to have to work a little bit harder to link up on some deep passes, but, like, assuming they have a whole offseason and preseason to get it together, they could. But I do have the slight concern of, like, it can't just be, all right, Tyreek, when you see me struggle back there, take off deep because I'll just get it to you. He doesn't necessarily have that same arm strength, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely not going to compare Tua to Patrick Mahomes. That's not even fair on Tua.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he can get the ball out to him. I would say the only reason why he was never able to get the ball out to people in deep passes, we had no offensive line, bro.
Yeah.
And I would even say Tyreek Hill was our best pickup. Teron Armstead was our best pickup because we solidified our left side. And I would love for one more offensive lineman, preferably a center, because I feel like we can move pieces around. I think we could put Eichenberg at right tackle, have Robert Hunt at the guard, pick up a center. I want JC Trotter, and we have Connor Williams and Teron Armstead. That's a feasible line.
Yeah,
that's the line that you could do some things. And I feel like with the run too that we're gonna have, run game we're gonna have, I feel like it's gonna definitely open the field a lot more for Tua to be able to get that ball out there.
And it should help. Like, so I was really happy to see you guys sign Raheem Mostert, Florida boy, new Smyrna boy coming home. And he spent a short time on the Dolphins back in the day too. Yeah. So that'll be cool to bring him back in there. You mentioned the offensive line, and like you played offensive line in high school and everything. Do you find that because of that, you're more inclined to, like, when you watch a game, you're more likely to notice offensive line stuff? Like, I'm a drummer, so when I listen to music, my brain goes to the drums before it goes to anything else. Do you think, and like my short time playing, I played long snapper, so I'm going to notice stuff, in that quick minute of play than other people. Do you see yourself, you play D-line as well, do you see yourself watching like the line play more than like your average football fan because of that, you think?
Yeah. I definitely pay attention a lot more to them. Like, I was paying attention more to Austin Jackson than anything. He had, I'm not saying I'm the best guy. And I'm not the best. I don't got the best like footwork and stuff. But if you're at that level, I feel like you should be like top tier on footwork. His footwork was terrible. He would get stumbled up. I would always see him on his butt. So that always would piss me off. And then I'll see like the best ones out there, like Armstead, when he's healthy, when he's playing, I see his footwork. I'm like, okay.
Right. Yeah. It just makes sense. I think when you're that much more involved in something, like, it's one thing to be like, let's say if you play like corner or receiver, you're going to do that. But like when it's something like O-line or even special teams, you got to like, you have to know what you're looking for to see it. Whereas like when it's like a skill position, everybody sees it. You might know why it happened, but everybody else is going to at least see it happen. Whereas like stuff like the line, like you'll notice something necessarily that the average fan just sees, just guys pushing into each other at that moment, that sort of thing.
Yep.
You mentioned one thing about this draft that I do think is a little more interesting than years past is the quarterback draft is like an all-time low on the hype level. And we've had classes that seem that way until we're 2-3 weeks out of the draft. And then at least one guy starts getting hyped up. We're recording this on Monday. You guys probably hear it by Tuesday. That has not happened yet in this draft. For once, we are going to have a draft with no clear-cut quarterback, and we might even get a whole first round without a quarterback. I feel like at least one guy is going to get in the late end of the draft, maybe the middle of the draft. Somebody really wants to reach for somebody. But this is an interesting year for quarterbacks for that reason. And like I'm looking on ESPN rankings right now, somehow Malik Willis from Liberty, which is the ultimate project, I think, in this draft, quarterback-wise, is sitting at number 1. You got Kenny Pickett, you got Matt Corral from Ole Miss, Desmond Ridder, Cincinnati, Sam Howell, Carson Strong from Nevada, and then it kind of drops after that. So looking at that top 5, because I'm still trying to figure out my answer for this. If you had like a gun to your head and like you had to get one of these quarterbacks, do you think there is one that's actually better than the others in this draft?
I'll probably more than likely look at like Matt Corral.
I was gonna go there too for whatever reason. Like he just, I know he got hurt in the bowl game, so we didn't get to see him on the biggest stage play the way he really wanted to. But like if I really had to pick one, like I don't like Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is an example of a guy that when you're a 5th-year senior, 6th-year senior, when you count the COVID year, like you should have college football figured out by now. So like there's a reason that it took you to your junior, senior year to like pop. Mm-hmm. And like I don't necessarily mean that all these guys are going to be absolute bums, but if I'm going on like upside, I think that was more the reason for him to have the year that he had to stand out. College football is meant to be played for 3 to 4 years. If you're there for 5 to 6, you should have it figured out, on the level that he did. So I'm not a big Pickett believer. I already mentioned like Willis, just this big project, and like Desmond Ridder, I think was a product of Cincinnati going on like their program's like all-time run.
Yeah.
And Sam Howell has done nothing but disappoint every time people give him the slightest bit of credit. So I don't even want to throw him in there at all.
I'm excited to see what Malik Willis do though.
Yeah,
because I think he'll get there. I think he could be like a Deshaun, being able to pass and throw and run.
The NFL comp they're giving him actually on here it says Jalen Hurts, which he's still had his own issues, but I could definitely see that. Kenny Pickett they're comparing to Kirk Cousins, so that's either positive or negative depending on how you view Kirk Cousins. Let's see. They don't have a comp for Matt Corral. I don't know if that was lazy writing or they just don't compare him to somebody here. Let's see if there's anyone else with an NFL comp. Desmond Ridder. No, they only did it with like 3 guys. What's that about? Right. The other interesting one, like, and again, this isn't a first round pick type person, but the Bailey Zappi kid from Western Kentucky who had like 62 touchdowns and almost 6,000 yards passing. He did enough that like he's going to get in somebody's camp and he'll end up a backup or a practice squad guy for a year or two. They only have 14 quarterbacks listed. The last one, 14 to 14, is at least a name that if you watch college football, you heard of. Brock Purdy out of Iowa State. Iowa State. But he's a guy that like Ohio State always beats like a ranked team every year, and they always screw up somebody's rankings. And he's been the guy doing that for a couple of years now. So I think that's another dude that ends up in the camp. But outside of quarterbacks, this is a draft that we might not hear a quarterback's name for a whole first round, which will be the first time in I don't know how long, if ever, that's ever happened. Right now, they still have Adrian Hutchins, the Michigan defensive end, as the number 1 overall pick, or at least the highest rated pick. And then some linemen after that. And you mentioned a few. Who do you think is the best lineman in this draft for offensive line?
For offensive line,
yeah.
That's a good one. I like the Alabama guy,
Evan Neal,
the tackle. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of good stuff from him. He's gonna be real good.
Another guy that's really like, so it's defensive end, it's offensive lineman. You got some Ohio State wide receivers up towards the top. Thibodeau, the Oregon defensive end. Trayvon Walker has really skyrocketed since Georgia won the national championship. Jermaine Johnson, very D-end heavy. But we got one safety that's just skyrocketed up here. Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame.
Really?
He's listed here at number 4.
Oh,
And
damn.
that's that could be let's see, I'm trying to find the order of people that would I think that would land him with the Jets. It looks like here.
I thought that was probably gonna go at the Sauce probably.
After who?
Sauce from Cincinnati.
Oh yeah. Sauce Gardner, yeah, the corner. Can see that as well. The first 10 picks it looks like here is the Jags, the Lions, the Texans, the Jets, the Giants, Panthers, and Giants again, Falcons, Seahawks, and the Jets again. So Jets have 2 in the top 10. So the Giants. The Eagles have 2 in the teens this year and next year.
You're welcome.
One of those is yours, and then one of them is the Texans or something. And we did have 3 in the first round, and we shuffled some, and now we have 2 in the first round this year and next year, which probably might work out a little better because if you are looking for a quarterback, as we spent the past 10 minutes doing, it might not necessarily be this year, maybe next year. We'll see about that.
Apparently, because you got Stroud, you got the Alabama quarterback. Who's that? What's his name?
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Bryce Young. Yeah, you got some good quarterbacks coming out next year.
As an Eagles fan, being we finally hit on a wide receiver. We got our one dude from Alabama from this past year.
Yeah, Devontae
Smith. Hopefully we can do it again. I don't know and with the mid 2-round picks, maybe one of those could be that. I like the Traylon Burks out of Arkansas. I think that guy's pretty good. I like his size. Some of us have us taking the Jamison Williams, the other Alabama wide receiver, and I know it shouldn't matter, but if you take 2-star wide receivers from the same school in back-to-back years, not a chance. There's not a high chance that both of them work out, and it shouldn't mean anything that they're both from the same school, but you pull from the same tree too many times, you're not going to keep getting good things, I would say.
Yeah, and he's hurt. He's going to be out because he got hurt in the championship game.
I mean, Devontae Smith was in a walking boot when we drafted him, and he still ended up pretty good. But yeah, I do think his is a little more. He got hurt much more recently. ACL. Yeah. You don't want to mess with the ACL for sure.
Yeah, not yet. But people are going to take that risk on him, and they know that it's this is a redshirt year for him.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like if you have 2 picks, you should do it.
Yeah, I mean, I said I like the Arkansas guy. Yeah. Obviously, if they picked the Bama guy, they'll know something that I don't, type of thing.
I wanted Josh Dotson before we got Tyreek. I wanted him from Penn State.
What was he's going to be good too. That's a team that's slowly produced a lot of good wide receivers in the past few years. Allen Robinson, Jerry Jeudy, Dodson here too. Just a handful of good. What was the center that you said you liked that you were hoping for this draft? There was a center that you liked? No. Okay.
No. In free agency.
Oh, my bad. Okay,
JC Trotter. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Top center here, Cameron. Oh wait, Tyler Lindbergh from Michigan. Then it's Cameron Jurgens, center from Nebraska. So yeah, you're gonna go Big Ten heavy with some of these centers and offensive linemen and stuff. Yeah. But is there any
good though? Because the boys got speed on them usually because they do just because they're how they run their offenses in the Big Ten. You're gonna have some fast linemen.
Yeah, because it's gonna be as close to a traditional NFL offense. I think you're gonna catch is gonna be some of it in the SEC, but it's gonna have a twist to it. The Big Ten, I think, definitely just kind of stays that way. Any other big names before we get out of here that you would want to interested to see where they go while you're in Vegas over the weekend?
Well, since I'm going in on the third day. So
okay, right.
I'm definitely not gonna see no one. Everyone's gonna be out of there. But
we didn't really talk running backs yet, too. You got Kenneth Walker.
I wanted Kenneth Walker when we was at 21 if we was gonna get a running back, I wanted Kenneth Walker. If we was gonna get a wide receiver, I wanted Josh Dawson. I just like how he runs, man. That boy runs like he's a big boy.
Again, Big Ten, man. He's another guy that he carried Michigan State to one of their better seasons in recent memory. And while he sat out the bowl game, which they did end up still winning, he was the reason they were there, no doubt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's about all we have. We didn't want to get too. I mean, honestly, I didn't look into the draft as much as I do other years. It kind of snuck up on me. If Kramer didn't send us that invite for the draft party, I would have thought it was like next week or something. But I did just want to get Donovan on here. One, we haven't gotten to talk sports with him. It's usually wrestling, so I wanted to change that up. And I'll definitely have you back next week. You can give us your experience out in Vegas and seeing some of the draft, and we'll break down some of the picks that do get made. So I appreciate your time, man. Enjoy your trip, and we'll see you when you get back.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for watching and listening, guys. We'll see you after the draft. Have a good one.